your spirit and fall afresh on us. Fill us with your power, Lord, and fill us with your love. Lord, send your spirit and fall afresh on us.
Different forms of prayer. Another of the effects of the baptism of the Spirit, briefly, prayer from the heart. To pray even without words. The Lord knows what we feel. The prayer of surrender. I've talked about that the other day. How important it is to give the Lord all I am and all I have. Just to surrender it in whatever way He opens for you to do so. The prayer of silence. I find for me, if the opportunity is there, the greatest form of prayer is to sit before the Blessed Sacrament in total silence. I remember years ago when we had Breeze McKenna here in Melbourne, she happened to stay at our home, and I used to take her down each day to the church, and she'd sit there in front of the Blessed Sacrament. She'd sit on the floor, and she used to spend, she said up to, I suppose this is back when she wasn't travelling, she'd spend up to 3 hours a day sitting in front of the Blessed Sacrament. There was her strength. And for me, I find that's a most satisfying place to pray. And I often say to people, even if you go to sleep, which is oftentimes what happens, I've done it, I think what a blessing to go to sleep in the presence of the Lord. The prayer of praise, charismatic, we had it here this morning. And the gift of tongues, precious gift. I'll touch on that briefly later. Frequent reception of the sacraments. Sacrament of reconciliation. It's like that basket that I talked about in the creek. We go to the sacrament of reconciliation, it's a healing sacrament and it's a cleansing sacrament. And the grace of that sacrament is such that it's without price. And reception of the Eucharist. Well, I'm not sure what I could say about that beyond the precious gift it is. The use of the gifts. Every prayer meeting, I believe, you should see prevalent in that prayer meeting at least 3 of those gifts. I think the gift of prophecy, one of my beliefs is that in any prayer group of say 20 people or 15 people, there's at least 2 or 3 people in there who have the gift of prophecy. And they may well be people who never even open their mouth. But if you have a sense that there's something you want to say, or the Lord wants you to say it out. And if your leadership is good, they'll interpret that. They will discern that, if it's coming from the human spirit or it's coming from the Holy Spirit. And it's a bit like swimming. The more you do of it, the better you get at it. The gift of healing. We had this whole thing at Icarus when the Vatican issued the statement on healing prayer. And in many ways, the response we as a renewal had worldwide was to have in 2001 the big event in Rome when we invited 85 people from the worldwide renewal who had gifts of healing, discerned gifts. Breeze McKenna was amongst them. And we invited Francis McNutt. And I'll mention something about Francis in a moment. People who had discerned gifts of healing. Everyone, and the church says this in the document, that everyone who is baptised, every Catholic baptised, is entitled to, nay, even necessary, to pray for others. And that's why the beauty in a prayer meeting, when you get 3 or 4 people praying over another person, has power. And the use of prayer tongues. I want all the gifts, but I don't want that gift of tongues. Well, you know, that's a little bit presumptuous, isn't it? Look, Lord, I know better than you in some things, and I don't want that gift. The gift of tongues is precious.
Lord, send your spirit and fall afresh on us. Fill us with your power, Lord, and fill us with your love. Lord, afresh on us.